Hello, this is Dr. Whiting, and today I want to talk to you about a group of foods that are the most misunderstood in the human diet, and those are fats. Overall, most of us have come to fear fats, think they make us fat, think they cause heart disease, think they make our cholesterol rise, and so on and so on. And for the most part, most of these theories or myths are simply untrue. Let's begin by understanding that there are three types of fats that we basically consume. The first group of fats are called saturated fats. Saturated fats are recognized as being generally solid at room temperature. Examples would be butter, lard, animal fats, palm oil, and coconut oil. The next group of fats are what we call the unsaturated fats, or more specifically the polyunsaturated fats. These are recognized as generally being liquid at room temperature. For example, corn oil, safflower oil, peanut oil, and so forth. The last group of oils or fats are what we call the monounsaturates. They're halfway between both groups in a way. Now, the saturated fats are the fats that we have been told for decades of time now are bad for you. They're animal fats, they contain lots of cholesterol, they plug up your arteries, they cause heart disease. The facts, however, do not support this concept. If we look at our ancestors, one or two generations back, to our grandparents or even maybe our great-grandparents, their diet consisted of almost 100% saturated fat. They cooked with bacon fat, they cooked with lard, they prepared meats. They didn't have fancy vegetable oils that come in those little bottles because the food industry hadn't yet manufactured them. And that generation of people had a fraction of the heart disease that we have today. In fact, if you monitor the increase in heart disease over the last 3 or 4 decades, and you lay next to it a comparative graph of the increase in the consumption of polyunsaturated vegetable oils, you will find that the consumption of these oils and the rate of heart disease has increased at exactly the same proportion. So what I'm telling you is the first myth that you need to get over about fats is that the unsaturated vegetable oils are good for you. They are, generally speaking, not good for you, except when they're in the foods that they're found. Corn oil is fine. Eat the corn. Do not extract the oil and then begins to cause problems. So the best way to get polyunsaturated oils, which do provide some health benefits, is from the foods in which they are naturally occurring. Saturated fats are far safer in the American diet because they do not become rancid when exposed to air and heat. You see, when we cook with oils, the more unsaturated the oil, the more likely it will break down and become a trans fat, become a rancid fat, and produce all sorts of compounds called free radicals. And these free radicals can cause a host of health problems. In fact, the free radical that attacks the human arteries, leading to atherosclerosis and the #1 cause of death, which is heart disease, is generated and formed in the human body almost exclusively from rancid, oxidized vegetable oils. This is why, as vegetable oil consumption has increased over the years, so has heart disease. Remember, history does not bear out the benefits of polyunsaturated oils. Generations before us, back into antiquity, used saturated animal fats and had a fraction of the heart disease per capita that we have today. Now that leaves us with the third group of fats, which are the monounsaturated fats. These are by far the best fats for overall use. Because of the monounsaturated makeup of the chemistry of these fats, they do not easily become rancid when exposed to the air or even heating. So they're ideal for low temperature cooking. They're ideal for cold preparations such as salads, vegetables, and so forth. The best monounsaturated oil is olive oil. Now, the reason why olive oil is preferred is because it has many other health benefits. It can naturally help to lower cholesterol, raise good cholesterol and lower bad cholesterol. It is an excellent monounsaturated, which means it doesn't cause free radicals in the human body, even when heated, as in cooking and food preparation. And if you look at the Mediterranean nations, those countries surrounding the Mediterranean Sea, they have for thousands and thousands of years used almost nothing but olive oil exclusively. And if you take a survey of these people, they eat a much higher fat diet than we do in America, yet they have a fraction of the heart disease that we have. They also live longer than we do. So the concept of using monounsaturated fats for the majority of your fat intake is highly, highly recommended. One of the worst things that you can do is to consume a low-fat diet. And many people have tried in vain to use low-fat diets to lose weight. Yes, some of them are actually quite effective at weight loss. But side effects include poor vitamin absorption, dry skin, brittle hair, poor skin tone, because you're not lubricating the body from the inside. You see, most of us get this idea that when we're out in the sun or we're in a dry climate, we apply body lotions and skin lotions, and that's fine as far as it goes, but it doesn't really lubricate the body because those preparations, those creams, sit on top of the skin, and they make the skin look less dry, but they're really not moisturizing at the subdermal level. The only way we can do that is by increasing the fat in our diet. Another thing that Weight Watchers need to remember is that consuming fats actually increases your resting metabolic rate. So going on a low-fat diet can slow your metabolism to the point where you have to use fewer and fewer and fewer calories in order to gain weight. Now, in recent months, we've heard a lot about trans fats. Trans fats are basically generated either through altering their chemical structure or through excessive heating of vegetable oils. They, like hydrogenated fats, which include margarine and shortening, are among the most dangerous of fats for the human body. So, in essence, what you need to remember about fats is that what you have learned about them is almost universally untrue. So if you take what you have learned about fats basically from propaganda of the food industry, who wants to sell you very cheap byproducts, which are vegetable oils, and you do the opposite, you will be much, much healthier. So consume saturated fats in moderation. Primarily use olive oil. Canola oil can be used for high frying, high temperature foods because it works better at higher temperatures. And primarily use olive oil. Avoid vegetable oils, especially things that are fried in them. That means when you go to one of your favorite fast food restaurant and they say, we use 100% pure vegetable oil for your good health, run, don't walk the other way. If you want French fries, cook them at home in extra virgin olive oil. Not only will they taste great, be fresh, but you won't be producing billions of free radicals that cause everything from premature skin aging to heart disease to many forms of cancer. I hope you found this information helpful. If you would like to contact us at our research institute, you can reach the Institute of Nutritional Science at 1-888-454-8464. You can address questions to our research center at Ask the Doc, ASKTHEDOC. Ask the Doc at healthyinformation.com. Thanks for listening, and I hope this has been helpful.